순두부인가? 이것이 바로 수수 오우나?
Ahora lo que hacía de su amor de service path to service.
The pineal gland has tiny little cilia, hair-like extensions all around it. When you hold
Me again. Oh, you must have had a good lunch. Just want to feel you for a minute. And let me take a minute to orient the people who are listening to these lectures on DVD. In the first lecture of this series, I talked about the path to personal responsibility. And it's a rite of passage that can arouse anger and shame. But unless your goal is set on being taken care of or becoming a victim, taking personal responsibility for your life is a necessary process. The power in personal responsibility is that external causes no longer produce internal reactions. Your personal responsibility restores your choice as to how you react to people or events. You are source. In Avatar, we call it living deliberately. In the second lecture, the path of compassion was about choosing wise beliefs and reconnecting with your heart consciousness. Head consciousness or intellect and heart consciousness need to work together. And when they separate from each other, you find the heart-dominated person who proposes marriage to death row serial killers, or the head-dominated person who argues the justification for racial genocide. They need to be balanced. Discernment from the head, compassion from the heart. And the gains that are available from the personal, awakening personal responsibility and integrating head and heart consciousness are priceless. I mean, there are inner journeys that require honesty and determination, but they're journeys that we all have to take. And now we're going to talk about the third path, which in a way is the most important path in the human drama, the path to service. And ideally, service combines personal responsibility and compassion with action. Your life is your true spiritual path. And being of service is the secret to how you make progress on that path. Now, the good news is that the path of service is exciting, challenging, and it's rewarding. And this is the frosting on life's cake. Service takes you beyond any mental nirvana, and its rewards are incredible, amazing, unbelievable. and I know I shouldn't use that word around avatars, but you're just not going to believe how profoundly rewarding the giving of selfless help can be. Something very high and spiritual and mystical within us is born when we help, even if it's at the cost of self-sacrifice. And awakening this viewpoint is something like jumping into a cold ocean. But after the complaints and the protest, it becomes clear that service to others is what we were born for. This is the front line of life. And service makes our existence valuable. I see that some of you are thinking, okay, Harry, if that's the good news, what's the bad news? Here's the downside. The path of service is so alluring and it's so genetically inherent in our race that some people embrace it before knowing anything about personal responsibility or compassion. And that makes it potentially dangerous. The instinctive hunger to serve, to be assigned a duty, and to commit to it at whatever cost is so strongly ingrained in our species that it overrides our common sense. The terrorist who willingly straps a bomb to his body is caught up in fanatical service, but is completely numb to personal responsibility and compassion. Vengeance has hijacked the suicide bomber's desire to be of service. And unscrupulous leaders intent on control and domination have taken advantage of the desire to serve and marched millions of young soldiers off to kill each other. And they die gallantly, but stupidly, in service to this or that belief, or because of some national insult, or over a piece of contested real estate. War is an exploitation of the desire to be of service. And it ruins the lives of individuals whose sense of personal responsibility and compassion are either undeveloped or they have been suppressed by indoctrination. So any individual who skips over the personal responsibility and compassion elements and rushes into service for a cause is at considerable risk for disappointment, exploitation, or worse. Problems inevitably arise when moral responsibility is asked to take second place to succeeding or completing a mission. And this applies to individuals, it applies to societies, it applies to whole nations. Service is an action, and all actions have consequences, cause and effect. And acting without responsibility for the consequences is a suitable definition for stupid. It's what a machine does. It's not what a human being should do. And for a long time, a major segment of Earth's population have been coaxed or forced to engage in services that are destructive, ill-advised, and ultimately self-sabotaging. You read your newspaper, watch your TV. You will see people striving for things that they don't need, hurting others for things that they really don't want,
hurting others.
and following paths that in the end may kill us all.
In the end,
So that's the bad news about this inner desire that we have to be of service. Without harnessing it to personal responsibility and compassion, it's subject to being manipulated toward destructive ends. So the solution to shaping this powerful dynamic into something that benefits our species rather than destroying it is to encourage the inner journeys that increase personal responsibility and compassion. And you do that by making more avatars, masters, and wizards. Do you see how important that is? In a real sense, the path to personal responsibility and the path to compassion are prerequisites for service to others. And the best service to others that you can deliver is to increase their personal responsibility and compassion. Declare a war and know that we keep growing. We're using our free attention of the word serve out from the, and when they see the idea that the person, organization, or country that you're supporting is deserving and worthy. Were instructions as this began, and this is the beginning, compassion, death, but its faults were passed on to future generations.
okay, trying to make a person like me through indoctrination, through controlling method, is indoctrination. First, what has happened to future generations. Like,
Military generals replaced knights and kings, and the intention to unconditionally defeat their enemies made compassion a weakness. So personal responsibility was reduced to following orders. And self-restraint in obeying destructive orders was considered insubordination. Paying destructive orders was considered insubordination or treason. During the Revolution, paying destructive orders was considered insubordination or treason. During the reign of terror in France in the late 18th century, executioners who were ordered to kill prisoners were forbidden to make eye contact. Because if they made eye contact, subservient and Orwellian, it's only following order, amendments. Eat what you curation and who have ever undertaken things that we are engaged in, improving people's personal and kindness, somebody concerned with actions that other people, people of goodwill, will find valuable. You know what the best thing about service to others are? Worthy of service. It's no surprise that drug addicts are very little sacrificing your compassion, reverse to others from the heart, but a lot of people. One of the maximums taught by the church to others: grow and flourish.
those who lose themselves in the service to others will grow and flourish. Like that, I lost myself when someone put a hack the 11 baht on my account. Lose themselves, so I lost my neck and lose myself. In service to others, trying to deter criminals from the main group who plays the games. Service to others, grow and flourish. Grow and flourish. Grow, flourish.
And even the 4-H youth organization, which is run by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, teaches finding oneself begins with losing oneself in the service to others. Unfortunately, there is no mention of compassion or personal responsibility, but they do understand the desire to serve. Mother Teresa, who founded the Christian Missionaries of Charity, left us this wisdom in a poem, the fruit of love and her personal responsibility. The 4-H youth organization, which is run by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, teaches finding oneself begins with losing oneself in the service to others. Unfortunately, there is no mention of compassion or personal responsibility, but they do understand the desire to serve. Eighth, personal responsibility, seeds you plant, materials. Thank you for listening.
They do understand agriculture. It's a benefit to food. They do understand the desire to serve. So that's a good thing. Main benefits. They do understand the desire to serve. Here in the moment. moment you lose keep on playing this desire to be in service, to understand and understand desire to be in service. You have to be out of mind to really understand this. Deter criminals. The job is to deter the criminals. Put all the attention on me. Or something. Criminal. Expired.